So we start part 3 with Rebecca and Gumpy struggling along, rescuing an endless number of transport pod crash victims, but we've got quite an interesting looking quest here. Wall and the heatwave. Somebody called Wall will join you, but we're going to have an intense heatwave for 4 days. Now, clearly, at this point, I'm just so desperate for extra colonists that I'm like, yeah, fine, whatever. Not sure I've thought the heatwave through. I mean, I'm not seeing any passive coolers in that base. Oh, you think that's a good idea, do you, Caroline? Yeah. So the heatwave has started, and Wall has joined. Who is Wall? What's Wall like? What are you going to bring to this game, Wall? Let's have a look at your bio. Well, you can construct, which is helpful. You've got some ideology that I'm not familiar with at all. Arctic Creed. Frequent proselytizing, no drug use. God, they don't sound much fun, do they? And they're not keen on people who... Oh, intense bigotry. Diversity of thought as intense bigotry. I like that. It's not just medium bigotry, it's some intense bigotry. You wouldn't want to go half-hearted on your bigotry there. But it is the ideology of the Empire. Is that helpful? Is that useful? Do we want to? Because so far, I've not really had any dealings with the Empire at this stage. Because, yeah, I did think about whether I should be running ideology and royalty at the same time, and I just thought, sod it, let's just put it all in there, let's have a bit of fun. So while your construction and crafting could be doing some stone cutting, actually. Early doors, I like somebody stone cutting so that we can get some stone walls in at some point. You're always going to need stone. You might as well have somebody doing it. Yeah, see, I know myself. I realise I said that like that's something to be deeply proud of. Yes, I know me. Haha. So while there's annoyingly quite a few things you can't do though. But construction and crafting, especially because that means that, you know, that's one less thing that Gumpy and Rebecca have to do. Well, I should just say Rebecca, because Rebecca's, let's be honest, pulling all the weight here at the moment. I mean, and Davenport's just doing sod all. He's just hanging out because he wants to see what it's like. But I can't remember what the reward is that I'm getting when Davenport goes from his bloody common people tourist exercise. Well, you could probably do with some clothes, couldn't you? You don't seem to be wearing a lot. But it doesn't say unhappy nudity. Oh, I got some pants on. That's alright. Yeah, it's a weird thing they've introduced with the ideology. I mean, I don't know if it was always the case, but the ideologies have this whole sort of men must wear pants, women must wear pants and shirts. I'm using pants, obviously, in the American sense, despite the fact that that's obviously nonsense, and we all know that pants are underpants, and anyway. But with the ideologies, they all have this strong view on whether men need to wear, whether women have to be covered as well. And there's like, I've only found one ideologian so far that allows women to just wear pants and no tops, and have their boobs swinging around. So it raises obviously some interesting sociological issues generally. Why do women have to wear tops and not men? I mean, I say they don't have to. I think during this summer quite a lot of us would have liked to have seen men forced to wear tops rather than some of the pink flabby nipples that have been on display. That was unkind, but true. Anyway, back to Rimworld. Everyone's just happily going about their day. It's quite peaceful at the moment. Hadley is no longer in cage. Who's Hadley? Oh, the transport pod prisoner. Ah, but it's a prisoner. Now, when you have a transport pod crash victim who is not a prisoner, who's just somebody from a friendly faction, you just rescue them and you can't really recruit them. They just sort of wander off or decide to stay. But because Hadley's a prisoner, I can recruit Hadley. I'd probably discussed that last part. I should review the previous videos before I do that, but... corpse obsession. Hasn't been reburied. Chop some wood. This is still the stage where Colony Manager, the mod, hasn't been updated, and I mean, I do see that, like, you know, I am being quite lazy by having the Colony Manager mod, but oh my god, it saves so much time not having to tell people to chop wood down and not having to tell people which animals to hunt. And yeah, call it cheating if you want, but I don't care. I'm in this. What I see with gaming is that you're there to have fun. You're not there to make things as horribly unpleasant for yourself as possible. If I wanted that, I'd play Dark Souls, and I don't. So I think it's just best to stick with... What's going on? Oh, Gumpy. Why are you having a major break risk, Gumpy? Why you gotta make my life hard, Gumpy? Major break risk. Alright, what's your beef, Gumpy? See, so somebody who's good at playing Rimworld, what they'd be doing right now is clicking on Gumpy and checking his needs and seeing why he's upset. Clearly past Caroline is just doesn't give a fuck. She's just had enough of Gumpy now and it's just like, I don't care. Get over your shit. Shut up. Stop bitching about it. Also, the heat wave might be part of the problem. I mean, it's 38 degrees indoors. Nobody wants that. I'm not even sure that's safe to sleep in. Oh yeah, but I need to get the passive cooler refilled, so... It's resistance 11.2. So it's going to be a while till we recruit Hadley. Especially because Rebecca's the only one doing wardening. You know, Rebecca's doing everything and she's in a good mood about it as well. Well, alright, Wool's doing some good work with the stone. The good thing actually about Wool making all these stone things, because you're like, there's nowhere to keep stuff, but actually it should at least, I could probably build something. Seriously? Seriously, Gumpy? Food binge right now? I mean, okay, we have a lot of food right now, but will that last? We don't know. Add a couple more colonists, that food will go down like you wouldn't believe, and you're going on a food binge. Food binges are the worst as well, because it's just like, just watch how many meals that guy's just going to eat now. It's just like, oh, I gotta have another meal now. That's 3 so far. What are you doing, Caroline? What are you doing, past Caroline? What are you thinking about? Why do you want to know how much water is there? Oh, Wool's got overheated. I think I need to set Wool indoors, don't I? Yeah, this is still a bit of getting my head round the ideologians. It's actually quite a useful screen, this, because you can see how committed people stay to their ideologions and stuff like that. And this guy's unhappy because there is diverse thought and he's intensely bigoted. And he's also upset because there's no slaves in the colony. And I'm sorry, but it's going to stay that way because I think it's weird having slaves. Don't like it. I have seen other people's games where they have slaves. You seem to have to put them in strange leather sex collars and little headdresses, which are all a little bit creepy for my liking. No, no slaves. No slaves for you, Wool. Whereas, you know, Rebecca, she's happy with all the diverse thoughts around her, but she's upset that there's no moralist. Freists, it's weird that Freists seem to demand to have a moralist. You know, they're all liberal and hippie, and it's like, but we still need somebody to tell us what our morals are. It's kind of a bit like... No, I was going to be deeply offensive then, but, you know. No point bringing down hate. This is Rimworld. There's no hate. Just fun. Just joy. Yeah, let's get some nice beds for people. People are going to be a lot happier once they have beds. I mean, they'd probably be happier if those beds weren't, like, buried in the wall. But we can't have everybody just sleeping on the floor in the main storeroom, surrounded by crap forever. Gumpy's still on a food bin. Jesus, Gumpy. Oh yeah, have you just, all this time I've been nattering away, you've been just eating all the food. Oh, now you go to sleep. Now you're over the food binge. God damn, Gumpy. I do think Wall would probably like a shirt, but I feel like trying to get a tailoring bench in ahead of getting people things like beds and effective heating and cooling seems a bit unnecessary. Oh, could I have a tailoring bench, sir? No, you can't, not yet. That's Hadley's resistance going down. I mean, it's always a balance for prisoners, because if you have to take their resistance down really far, and it's going to be that you're going to be holding them for a while, you're feeding them all this time. You're wasting food that, you know, your colonists, and you're not getting any input for it. So, but Davenport, the tourist, isn't going to be here forever, and Rebecca and Gumpy, I think they've done their fair share. Well, Rebecca has done their fair share of being a two-person colony. Wall's joined them now. Wall seems to be quite industrious. Wall's, you know, pulling his weight. Even if he is walking around topless like a British builder when the temperature gets mildly above 19 degrees. Ooh, there's a bedroom there. Somebody could have a bed. I think we all know who deserves the bed. You can, of course, click on a bed and assign it to somebody specifically. Yes. Get the door on that prison cell. Quite useful that there's, like, compacted machinery in the prison cell. We're going to need those components. I mean, we've just seen Wall use one to repair the battery there, so... Feed the prisoner. Convert the prisoner. What have we detected? Oh, don't do that. You see, what I've just done there is I've moved away from where the cargo pods are coming down. I've just got, you've detected something. It's like, what have I detected? Oh no, I won't ever remember now because it's all gone and it's all cleared off. Well, that was useful, wasn't it, Caroline? Oh, was it Ambrosia? Alright, okay, fair enough. But I'm not happy with past Caroline about that. She didn't leave it clear to what it was. See, I always find it really frustrating at this stage. It's like you're on the cusp of being able to get the colony running well. You're on the cusp of being able to build things and get things and design the colony you want, but it still looks like a shithole. Everything's still grubby. Anything could wipe you out at any minute. You know, a couple of mad squirrels and I'm probably screwed right now, so... When you look at that battery, it's not like it's filling up really rapidly, so the power situation's very tenuous. And look at Gumpy slowly clicking away there at that wall. Yeah, how long have I got? Oh, that's why I was holding on to Davenport. I get a jump pack and an assault rifle. Alright, that's fair enough. The jump pack and an assault rifle at this stage is going to be pretty nice. But he's still here for another 5 days. I feel like Davenport's been there forever. And he doesn't do anything. You know, he wanders around, he chats to people. Hello, I'm Davenport. I'm here visiting from a far richer colony just to see how shitty it is for you people who've just landed here. Oh, no, isn't it really difficult? Oh. It's like a Tory MP doing a documentary on benefits. Here we go. Now this is starting to come together. I mean, obviously one of the bedrooms has been sacrificed to be a prisoner cell, but that's, you know, standard. It's more important to have a secure room to put prisoners in than it is to have a bedroom for all of the colonists, but it would be nice if some of my colonists could have a bedroom. Major break risk, Rebecca? Well, do you know what, Rebecca? I don't blame you. Some people have suggested that I have a double standard when it comes to Rebecca and Gumpy. But, you know, Rebecca's allowed a breakdown. She's been doing all the work, while other people have just been... Davenport's been fannying about. Gumpy's been completely useless. This new guy, Wall, seems alright, but, you know, he's walking around chest bare. Again, not really his fault, since there are no shirts. I'm sure he'd put a shirt on if he had access to a shirt. Hadley, the prisoner, is completely healed. I mean, generally, I've found that prisoners actually behave relatively well, especially if you don't keep them too badly. I mean, if I'm going to keep a prisoner for a long period of time, it's usually to recruit them, so I think there's no harm in having a nice prison cell. It's well worth getting some hygiene things in there if you're running Dub's Bad Hygiene mod. I haven't done it yet because there's not enough space in there, but I'm pretty sure that I will. Oh, it's so slow. It's like, this is on speed 3. I'm always torn about bringing somebody who's good at mining, because it feels like a waste, because anybody can be good at mining, and you can basically, unless they completely refuse to do dumb labour or any of those things, you can get somebody to do mining, but it is so slow if they're not good at it. But you've got to prioritise when you choose your initial 3 colonists. Medicine, cooking, construction being the 3 things that I think are the most important. If you're lucky enough to get someone who can do more than that, then great, but yeah, Rebecca gets the nice bed. We'll get another bed in as soon as we can, though, you know. Actually, I could fit 2 beds in Rebecca's room, but, you know, I think Rebecca deserves her own room at this stage, right? Hygiene options. At some point, it's worth having a look at your hygiene options before you start building more, because you're gonna want to put, while I don't need a powered water well and all that shit right now, at some point I'm going to want to put it in. And if you build your base in such a way that means there's nowhere good to put the water well because, you know, there's no water there. See, ideally I'd have liked to have made just there down on the left the room that would have had all the water stuff in. The room that would have had all the sort of well, basically everything you can see on that screen, everything to do with Dub's Bad Hygiene, so I can sort of lock it away somewhere nice. Oh no, food poisoning. But, and right there I'm just sort of going, well, there is water capacity there, even though it's not that high, but there is. And I'm like, oh, where am I going to put it? But yeah, basically what you're watching here is past Caroline having a meltdown over the fact that she can't really put the water place where she wanted to put it. See, sad refugees again. Ooh, 3 people beg for permission to stay. I've got quite a bit of food at the moment. They could help. They could get the building underway. They might turn on me and kill everybody in my colony. But equally, 3 people to help out for 18 days. That could actually be really useful. Obviously the decision was too much for me, so I quit. Loaded up again. And went off and... Now, I'm going to guess by the timing, I actually went off to make dinner and thought, I'll think about that. My worry is that I've come back and completely forgotten about the fact that there was a quest available. And when did I get animals? Alright, let's just assume I obviously skipped some recording there. But not much. I would say over the whole thing I've probably missed about 10-15 minutes, if that, of recording. But yeah, so the new 1.3 update now requires you to have a pen for your animals. And I've kind of got a bit of an advantage here in that for the last few years I've been using a mod that gives you fences, because I always kind of liked having my animals outside in a fenced area in a pen. I thought that was something that Rimworld should have, so I'm kind of really pleased I don't need that mod anymore. But also I noticed that other people I know, who I happen to live in the same house with, have really struggled with having to feed their animals in the pen to make sure that the pen animals have food, because they've been so used to leaving them just roaming around the map, or roaming around near their base at least. That doesn't look like a very big pen, Caroline. I suppose it's early doors, isn't it? And what animals have I got that need a pen? Make a little... So they've got a little stable there at the end. Why are you making a steel fence? Does it have to be steel? Yeah, let's have a wooden fence. Let's not just piss away the steel on anything. Ah, see, now at this point I thought that I'd need to have a zone. I'd need to have described the pen as a zone and say you're restricted to it. But turns out I didn't. Ah, I got some donkeys. Yeah. You're wasting your time here, past Caroline. Yeah. It's not how it works with the new setup. I know. But... Because obviously when I did it with the fence mod, this is how I did it, is I'd create an area and I'd send the donkeys to stay in it. And now I'm going, oh? But it's not letting me select. What's that about? It just says not in a pen. Manage auto slaughter. That's new. And, you know, we've all been there with Rimworld. You decide to get 2 huskies, and suddenly you have 54 and they're eating you out of house and home. If it's huskies that get out of control, they'll eat colonists if you're not careful. It's gonna take past Caroline a while to figure out the fact that she can't. Now she's reading the text. You see, always in Rimworld, if you're not sure, read the text. So I need to build a pen marker. Look in Misc. Oh, is it not in Misc? Oh, it is in Misc. There it is. And again, let's not build it in steel. Let's not waste a load of stuff on steel. There's a lot of things in Rimworld that, because the default option is set to something like steel or stone, you think you have to, but actually you can, honestly, you can put a lot, you can usually change most things to wood. I knew somebody who had never built a crematorium in this because they thought it required granite specifically, and they were on a map that didn't have granite. It's like, no, you can build it out of anything. What? Right, so we got 100 meals. We got... Oh, Gumpy, seriously? Perk the fuck up. Wall and Rebecca are stressed enough, they don't need you breaking down as well. Gumpy, more like grumpy. Eh? Am I right? Eh? Why are we growing cotton? I mean, they're probably going to be useful, but also that seems like a very big smoke leaf field there. It's really dark in there. Needs some lights. Prioritise cleaning the feces. Oh, badly. Ah, isn't that nice? Yeah, that's why it's generally a good idea to get your prisoners to have just, even if it's just like a shitty, water well and latrine in the prisoner room, because, you know, nobody likes having to sit in their own feces. General statement, not looking for challenges on it. Solar flare. So what little power I have is gone. My fridge will now be off until that solar flare passes. Great. Now you see there's a lot of now Wall keeps trying to convert people to his ideologion. He has a proselytising ideologion and he's very keen on trying to convert people. Unlikely to be successful, because most of them are feeling pretty good. And he's just one guy occasionally saying, hey, do you want to join my bigoted ideology? And they go, no, not really. God, that was a bit annoying. But it doesn't help with everybody's mood. So, at some point we need to do something about that. And where are these goddamn donkeys anyway? Right, now I've got a pen marker. Have I got anyone who's doing... Where is handle? Oh, of course it's Rebecca. It's like, who can do handling? Oh, it's Rebecca. Gumpy can't. Gumpy's shit at it. So poor old Rebecca's going to have to get those donkeys into the pen. There they are. Ah, but the pen's not finished, so we can't rope them in yet. So we need to get on finishing that. Come on, Wall. Build faster. Build. Build. Build more. Where are you growing? Hey. Well, you see, on the one hand, that was sensible. You know, if you are going to make kibble at the butcher's table, then you definitely need hay for the animals to eat. To make kibble, so it takes food and hay and gets combined. Some people see it as a waste. I think it's useful to have it, especially for training. If you want to train your animals, then they need it as well. But it's also sensible to grow your hay in the same field as your animals are in, because I'm sorry, obviously, because I don't know what happened there. The recording quality gets so much better, I promise, as time goes on. Especially, because early doors, I kept going oh, am I recording or am I not recording? And so I'd press the button and go to see if it said save, record or recording. And then I realised after a while that there's a little green dot on the screen when it's recording, so it's fine. It'll get better. If you make it through 36 hours of Caroline playing Rimworld Ideology, then you are insane. But also, you will see that the recording gets much better. Anyway, right, so, Wall has nearly finished the pen. Ah, what? So we don't need a mad guinea pig right now. These donkeys will have left the map by the time we get this mad guinea pig situation under control, but okay. Everybody indoors. But yeah, that was really stressing me out. You can't put the animals... I'm so used to telling my animals where to go. Guinea pig. Alright, the guinea pig situation has been resolved, I think. No, it hasn't. Now it has. It was just squeaking. You know how guinea pigs get. But yeah, spike traps, wooden spike trap. Genuinely, like, you know, your first few in-game years on the map, all you need is some wooden spike traps outside your front door and to tell everybody to go inside when it's dangerous, and you'll be fine. Absolutely golden. Have I told everybody they can go outside again yet, though? I mean, that'll become very apparent very quickly. Oh, Hadley's not enjoying just being in a dark room. I mean, fair. It's not the best prison cell. It's not the worst. You seen they put gibbets in the game now. Again, not the kind of twisted colony I want to run. Or is it? Maybe the world will change me. But it's one of the things I really have enjoyed about the ideologions is not trying to say it. Bloody coyote men. They're the pirates, they're going to keep raiding. They're preparing for a while though. But yeah, what I like about the ideologions is that they seem to force you in slightly different directions than what you expect. So you have your whole set plan of like, this is how I'm going to run my colony. But actually, it's always been the case with Rimworld. It's your colonists that dictate how you run the colony, not you. You can go in with all the plans in the world of like, it's going to be just like this. I'm going to run it just like that. And it won't end up that way. One of those donkeys has ended up in the pen, even though it's not finished. Oh yeah, what are we going to do about this raid? Because, you know, Rebecca can shoot, Gumpy can shoot. Davenport is just a visitor. Oh, so that's the raid. It's one guy with a club. Oh, is Wall a better shot? Ah, so we're going to give Wall the bolt action rifle. Then presumably you're going to make Gumpy give up his gun. So that Rebecca can have a gun, right? Right? It can almost hear the hamster running around the wheel in past Caroline's brain. Okay, so I'm going to send Gumpy into harm's way. I was not expecting that. It's because I'm still worried about the donkey. I don't want to lose the donkey. I'm like, no, Rebecca's the only one who can get the donkey. Keep Davenport inside because we need to keep him safe. Get the donkey. Send the chaps off to shoot the pirate. Bob's your uncle. Sally's your aunt. Put Rebecca indoors. Oh, undraft. Oh, put everybody indoors because now we've got the donkey safe, right? Okay, I followed the lot. But the donkeys are now wandering off again, you know. Oh, the shuttle's here to get Davenport. Bye, Davenport. We won't miss you, but we would really like the jump pack and assault rifle that we're going to get as a reward. Ha-ha! Because that could be quite useful against one guy. Yes. Yes. Give Rebecca the jump pack. Force equip jump pack. Yes, yes, yes. Wear a jump pack. Go on. What's the indecision here? What are you thinking about? Just give it to her. going to give Gumpy the jump pack? Are you mad, woman? Yeah, I see. And then, what, you're just going to keep... I suppose sometimes it's just not worth wasting risks on one guy with a club. He can walk into the spike traps and be done with it. Sounds, however, like he's attacking something. Oh, what? That water pump. I mean, it was a stupidly placed water pump, frankly. But why did I just build the water pump and nothing else as well? What was that about? Oh, we're going to draft everyone now. He's setting fire to my fields. You bastard. Ha. Ooh, Wall's a good shot. Rebecca didn't even get to fire her new gun. Land on the spikes. Ah, that was a nice successful situation. Oh, I can't believe how like Rebecca's now got a jump pack and an assault rifle. Barely had food the other day. Although, actually, food supply is going down a bit. It was on like 100 and something and now it's on 88. Gotta watch your food supplies. While having a well-deserved smoke leaf joint there at the end of that. Right, we need to finish those. Yes. Ooh, combat supply. Why were you able to rope them before when it wasn't finished? But you can for... I'm very confused about that. I think there was still some glitchiness going on there. Yeah, that makes no sense. There's combat supplier. Who is my best social person? Rebecca's a 4. It's not great. Gumpy's 0, unsurprisingly, and Wall is 2. Okay, so Rebecca is the best social person. You always want to do your trading with the best person of social skills because they will get you a good deal. However, if they're not well, that can affect it. And sometimes your good social people like to go and get high on smoke leaf as well, which means that they're then not very good at doing it. Always worth checking. Combat suppliers are generally good for selling the shit that raiders have left behind too. Yep, I'll sell the antidepressants, why not? Sell the ambrosia so nobody gets a whole dependency. I'm going to sell the smoke leaf. I tend to grow smoke leaf and make it because honestly it keeps your colonists relatively happy and reasonable and generally quite nice people if they get that. Medicine, so important. Yeah, it's worth spending the money, honestly. I know I'm making a loss of 74 there, but medicine, early doors, you do not want to be running out of medicine. I mean, you can treat people without medicine, but it doesn't tend to go as well and they're more likely to get infections. Haha, my animal pen is finished. Quick, Rebecca, rope those donkeys. Rope them good. Donkey number 1. And donkey number 2. All the rain's coming in now. I do love rain in games. Like the sound of it's just beautiful. Yeah, I'm getting worried about this wall trying to convert because early doors you just don't know. It's like this was this is when the update had just come out and I hadn't got the hang of the ideologions, Jesus, at all. So I'm just like, he keeps trying to convert people, I think in the long run, it's not good for people's mood if they're going to have that. I'm also desperately trying to recruit Hadley. I'm like, come on, recruit Hadley. I gave Gumpy the bed. And that will have been, alright, Gumpy's annoyed me. Gumpy is not perfect in many ways. As we all know, I have my issues with Gumpy. But you got to respect your original colonists. I started off with 3 colonists. One of them, sadly, as we all know, didn't make it past part 1. And I'm sure we can all remember her name. However, Rebecca and Gumpy are still here, and I think you've always, however big your colony gets, you always respect the original colonists as being, people who are there with you a long time will start to get attached to it. It's the amazing thing about Rimworld, genuinely, you form relationships with these people. It's just you don't shape them, they shape you. We're going to need more graves. Because nobody likes walking past corpses all the time. I didn't really set up a very good graveyard though. I built the animal pen right on the edge of the graveyard, so... the moralist role. We still have to decide who's going to have the moralist. And the thing is, it's if you've got Rebecca and Gumpy in an ideology, do they need a moralist between 2 of them? Because Wall's a different ideology. But if they do, out of Rebecca and Gumpy, who do you think I'm going to make the moralist? Just saying. Misc, what are we looking for? Light ball? The gibbet cage. Charming. Gibbet or gibbet? I'm going with gibbet. It's definitely a gibbet cage, because you have giblets. I presume gibbet. Are gibbets and giblets related? Is that a thing? Skull spikes. Again, not something I want to build. Drums, though. Drums sound cool. Loudspeakers. And you get more stuff in your miscellaneous and your furniture menu and all of that based on the sort of ideologies you have in your base. So you might not have those same options. You might be looking at it and going, I don't have those, but yeah. I'm going straight for the crematorium, eh? It's an interesting choice. Let's just build a crematorium. I suppose when you've really dug yourself into a hole as I have, where there's basically just nowhere to put any more graves. I could have put graves further away. And, I know other people play so that they don't even have graves or a crematorium. They have just a big corpse fridge that they feed their panthers on them. But not my style. I like to have the crematorium set up. But apparently, Past Caroline's given up on that idea for now. She's thinking about it, though. You can see she's thinking about it. She's like, ooh, I'm going to get that set up soon. Donkey Wong is pregnant. Yeah, this is where the auto-slaughter... You're way ahead of me, Past Caroline. Second that you're like, oh no, we're going to end up with too many of them, so slaughter when they get to a certain... This is a new menu, though, and I love a menu in Rimworld, so it's like, ooh. I can set it so that if I get too many... So what am I going to decide is my max number of donkeys? 20? You think 20 is a reasonable max number of donkeys, do you? Slaughter. You probably need to tab out of that max screen before you... No, okay, fine. But then I was worried it was going to slaughter the pregnant... It's not an entirely clear menu. I was like, does that mean it's slaughtering the pregnant donkey? Does it? Should you tick that? Should you not tick that? God, unclear menu screens. It's like photocopiers. There's the ones where you click cancel. And it says, are you sure you want to cancel? And the options are cancel or clear. It's like, what's that meant to mean? Which one do I press? Not at all relevant to this, but just thought I'd share. Yeah, I can see part 3 of this. It's not going to be the most exciting of the instalments. But I feel like in terms of... It's like I'm doing a sort of a Dogma 95 type exercise here with Rimworld, which is I feel that having the entire playthrough from beginning to end is important to contribute to the realism. You know, anyone can edit out all the boring bits, but leaving in all the boring bits, now that's a skill. Stop trying to convert people, Wall. Just get on with your day-to-day work. It's not helpful. Nobody wants it. Nobody's enjoying it. You're just upsetting everybody with your forced ideologies. So we're going for the crematorium then. Getting the wall down. This is it. This is it. The base is starting to be built. Expansion is happening. We will not be just staring at that one tiny cramped room of shit anymore. I mean, I say that. Gumpy's not got his gear and ass because he's... Okay, that was unfair on Gumpy. He's not in charge of construction. Wall's in charge of construction. But, you know, Gumpy is busy having a major break risk, so he's not going to help much of anything at all. Need warm clothes. I mean, really, depends how much you're sending people outside. Yeah, Rimworld colonists do tend to build themselves into places. So Wall's having to pick his own way out. That's a bit harsh, really. Should have probably put the door in first, but sorry, Wall. Sorry, not sorry. But I didn't want the fridge. Oh, that's why I didn't put it in, was because I didn't want the fridge to uncold itself. And crematoriums generate quite a bit of heat. You won't be surprised to hear. So putting it next to your fridge, not necessarily the best plan. Oh my god, it's dark in there. Put some lights in. Sort your shit out. So what have we got down the side? We've got 2 major break risks, Wall and Gumpy just falling apart, Rebecca typically taking on the emotional labour role of a woman, and while Wall has corpse obsession, takes corpse out of there. God damn it. Gonna have to get Rebecca to finish the fridge or else we'll lose all our food. That's just me pouring my tea. Trust me, caffeine will improve this. See, Rebecca's not a constructor. That's not her thing. That's what you're meant to be doing, Wall. And now Rebecca is close to having a breakdown because you two have breakdowns. As always, the patriarchy, leaving women behind. Poor Rebecca's had to stay up all night trying to... Because, like, if I don't get that door on that fridge, that's all that food gone. And again, though, the food numbers are going down, not up. Well, finish the door. Not everybody always seems to know that if you press shift when you're assigning tasks, then you can queue up tasks for your colonists, which is really important. There you go. Ah, Wall's in a better mood because he had his corpse obsession. Which means he might finish the crematorium, which means that we might be able to get rid of some of these corpses. Rebecca's having a snooze. Does mean nobody's going to have been wardening Hadley because Rebecca's the only person doing the wardening. God, it's just so stressful. Gumpy's mining away. Should be getting faster at it by now, but no, still slowly chipping away. I haven't had a raid for a while though. Like, I feel like I have got it on builder setting, so, you know, they are kinder than usual. But I wanted to enjoy the new ideology and setting. That you're not gonna fit a stall door in there. What are you like? What are you trying to do? That room is not big enough to have a latrine with a door on it. And it's a prison cell, you know, if he has to shit in the open, so be it. No? Not happy with that? Oh, you still think you're going to be able to figure out a way to do it, don't you? Past Caroline. Past Caroline's an idiot. Really? You don't want a door? It's a wall you want. There you go. But it's still not going to work. Like, that's ridiculous. You've tried it. Just accept the fact that it's a prison cell. He's going to have an open toilet. There we go. But he will be a lot happier with those changes. Was I saying before the toilet thing? Oh yeah, no, I've got it on builder setting because I wanted to enjoy the new update 1.3 and the ideology DLC without, like, you know, and everybody's dead within seconds. So yeah, I have got it on. I have to say, like, I will do my next playthrough on a higher difficulty, I think, now. But I kind of like keeping it on builder setting and then playing with the opening scenarios. So instead of using the 3 crash landed, maybe having the 5 but with primitive technology, so you don't have any of, like, you can't make power straight off the bat, for example. Or the 1 person on their own options. There's the fun version, which is where you're a really rich person who crashes with lots of resources. And then there's the I love playing it, but it's just impossible to make it past 6 months in my experience, of 1 person who lands with nothing. You land with literally nothing on your own. Hadley's recruited! Sorry, but yeah, I was just so excited. We've got Hadley now. Oh, look at this. Wall's super happy. So what's Hadley's belief? How Hadley has a completely different belief to anybody else. So we've now got 3 types of belief in the colony. What a wonderfully diverse commune I'm running. Yes. Oh, and Hadley can warden, so that's taking some stuff off Rebecca's back. And Hadley can cook as well, so that helps out Gumpy. Oh, Hadley, you look like you might be a bit of an asset. It's always, when you get a new colonist, worth doing this. I mean, it's incredibly boring from a video point of view, watching somebody fiddle around. Well, no, but it's not, because I'd actually be interested to watch somebody else setting their priorities, because I know that I don't do them the same way as my other half. He's always criticises me for having a lot of 1s in there. He thinks I have too many 1s, but I think I like the way I do it, but I'd like to see the way other people do it. But once you get a new colonist, it's always important to have a little tweak of the priorities, because the whole thing can get set off kilter by it. And you've got to think about what your priorities are at this point. Like, at this point, the food is down to 57 past Caroline. Past Caroline hasn't noticed that the food just keeps going down and down and down, and isn't getting any better, and that we now have 4 people eating it. She hasn't assigned anybody to go hunting in ages because she's so used to playing with the colony manager mod that will do it for you. Ooh, a quest available. Tremendous edifice. So, yeah, when you set your cremation, you kind of want to set up 2 different things. So you want all rotten corpses, human and animal, because generally if it's rotten you want it cooking, and that'll get that rotten animal skeleton out of my fridge. But you should also have one for raiders, so non-colonists who are fresh corpses should also be in there. Past Caroline's not done that. Now, it'll be interesting, the crematorium's a bit of a drain on power, so it seems to be alright at the moment, the battery's full, but if I actually put some lights in this place at some point, then it's going to be an issue. Yeah, look at this, everyone's in beds. Oh, the world is changing. There's corridors and everything. Ooh, what are you building there, Caroline? You're not sure yet. I mean, at this stage, mostly, it's pissing me off royally that I don't have a proper storage room. Yeah, that's what we need. We need a storage room. Just to put all that shit in, because at the moment it's a bit annoying. Ooh, look at that, thinking big. But let's not make them cut that out right now. Because that's going to take, oh god, Gumpy and his slow mining. This is going to take absolutely forever. You're not going to click on that quest, by the way. You know, tremendous edifice. Ah, now, I've got a bit of a moral issue with the fact that the horses now they're not going to attack you. So you can have them, you can hunt them. But, I don't feel good about hunting horses for meat. I'm glad I finally realised, once I got down to 49 meals, that I needed food, though. Poor Hadley's having to chop up squirrels now, you know. I mean, we've got plenty of kibble, but colonists do not like eating kibble. It does not make for a happy colony if they're having to live off kibble. Hey! Right, what are they offering? Low shield pack, plasteel, or advanced components. Now, advanced components at this stage, it'd be nice to have a couple in the bank. Although they're actually the lowest value thing out of everything that's there. But yeah, I know me. I know I'm going for the advanced components. These building missions, these build a monument to... I don't mind doing them early doors because, like, look at that, that's tiny. It's like, that's fine. I've got enough. If I've got stone in the bank, then that's nice and easy to do. Later on, they get huge and you have to protect them. So I don't tend to go for them later on in the game. But early game, they're lovely little missions. These, build a little monument. Keep it safe. More. You're going to get Wall out of bed for this. I'm getting Wall out of bed to cremate a skeleton that's been in the fridge for months. That seems a little harsh. I know he's cheery, but you know. Wall does seem to be in a good mood. For somebody who's, you know, big on intense bigotry, he seems really cheery. The cheeriest intense bigot I've ever met. Donkeys are all happy. Not growing anything for them to eat in there yet, though. Hadley enjoying a little bit of horseshoes there. That ancient warwalker shell. Not only is it hard to say, but it's also, at some point, somebody should do something about that. Oh yeah, let's turn the crematorium off so it's not draining the power. Right, and then once you've placed the blueprint, you have to choose what you're going to put on it. So I've forgotten how to do that slightly. You can, that's it. You can separate them out to flagstones and walls, or you can do the whole thing. So I'm just going to do the whole thing as... No, apparently I'm not. Just do just do it there. Makes more sense. Right, cool. All is good. And that will happen now. Marvellous. So, as we draw to a close on part 3 of Caroline Plays Rimworld Ideology, we've had a really quite uneventful in some ways. You know, there's been no big combats, there's been no big raids, there's been no big threats or deaths, but we have 2 new people. Rebecca and Gumpy are no longer alone in this world. They have Hadley and Wall to guide them. Hadley and Wall have very different beliefs to them, but, you know, as a wonderfully diverse commune colony, they're all getting along fine. The advanced components have arrived, and everybody's happy. So we shall leave it there until part 4, when things may take some more interesting turns.